He is known as the Prince of Darkness and the Godfather of heavy metal.
I'm Ozzy, man, and I'm crazy!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're taking a look at the life and career of Ozzy Osbourne. John Michael Osbourne was born December 3, 1948, in Birmingham, England, to a working-class family. Osbourne began performing at a young age by acting in school plays and musicals. He then worked a string of manual labor jobs before going to jail for petty crime.
Can't even rock and roll anymore. Don't do this, don't do that.
Upon his release, he joined a local band as the vocalist. The group eventually called itself Earth, and they produced conventional bluesy rock. Earth found some local success, but really earned recognition when they turned to scarier and heavier-sounding music.
I know a girl lives next door, be in the kitchen and the wall, don't you? Step on my blue suede shoes.
Another name change came in 1969, and Black Sabbath was born. As frontman for this influential British band, Ozzy helped define early metal music. The band's 1970 self-titled debut was considered forgettable by critics, but it sold well. However, the next year's follow-up record, Paranoid, was considered seminal to the heavy metal genre. Sabbath released more pivotal albums during the 1970s, but at the height of their popularity, Ozzy decided to capitalize on the opportunity to pursue a solo career. This decision was precipitated by tensions within the band, as well as drug use by Osbourne and the rest of the group. Ozzy officially left Black Sabbath in 1979.
It was a whole scam because Tony had met Dio. We were being managed by Sharon's father, Don Arden. And Tony didn't want me in the band anymore. And I knew what was going down anyway, and I knew what was coming down. It wasn't no surprise that I was, when I got fired, I didn't go like, oh, golly, you know.
The next year, he began recording his solo debut with a group of established musicians that included former Quiet Riot guitarist Randy Rhoads. Later in 1980, Blizzard of Oz was released. It became one of the best-selling albums of the decade on the strength of hits like Mr. Crowley and Crazy Train. By this time, Ozzy was being managed by Sharon Arden, who was the daughter of Black Sabbath's manager. The pair began to date, and shortly thereafter, they married. Osbourne built on the success of his debut with 1981's Diary of a Madman. The album featured a number of standout tracks like Flying High Again and Over the Mountain, while the title track sent shivers down listeners' spines. By this point, Ozzy had a reputation for eerie vocals and nurtured his image as an angry misfit. His concert theatrics added to this. He threw raw meat at crowds and bit the head off a live bat, in addition to publicly urinating at the Alamo.
I mean, if I was sober, I would never have urinated up the Alamo. If I was sober, I would never have walked into CBS and bit the head off the dope.
These incidents simply earned him more fans. However, as Osbourne's and Rhoads' careers reached unseen heights, tragedy struck. On March 19, 1982, Rhoads was a passenger on an aircraft piloted by the band's bus driver when it crashed and killed those on board. In the wake of this misfortune, Osbourne was contractually obligated to release a live album. To avoid profiting from his friend and bandmate's death, he hired guitarist Brad Gillis to step in and record the Black Sabbath covers that became 1982's Speak of the Devil. The next year, Ozzy partnered with guitarist Jake E. Lee and released the successful Bark at the Moon. In 1986, he released his fourth studio album, The Ultimate Sin, again with Lee. By 1987, Lee had been replaced by Zakk Wylde, and he helped introduce Ozzy to a new generation of music fans with 1988's No Rest for the Wicked. Ozzy didn't slow down in the 90s. The massively successful No More Tears featured numerous hit singles and was released in 1991.
I don't care about the sunshine, yeah, 'cause mama, I'm coming home.
That album won him a Grammy for the song I Don't Want to Change the World. The concert series in support of that album was nicknamed No More Tours, as Ozzy announced it would be his last. In 1993, he released one of the best live metal records of all time, the double album Live and Loud. Fortunately for fans, he returned in 1995 with Osmosis and the ensuing Retirement Sucks tour. Also in the 90s, Osbourne and his wife launched the popular metal concert series Ozzfest. The next decade, Ozzy made it to television by launching the MTV reality series The Osbournes in 2002.
Rock and roll!
On that show, audiences were introduced to a different side of Ozzy and his family.
Did anybody feed the dogs? No!
Ozzy continued releasing albums well into the 21st century, with 2001's Down to Earth, followed by 2007's Black Rain, and 2010's Scream.
Let me hear you scream like you want it!
With highly publicized on and off drug troubles and wild rumors following him through his career, Ozzy Osbourne was proof that after all was said and done, only the music mattered.
Being a success with one band, Black Sabbath, and then to be an even bigger success on my own, or at least as big as of a success, is like a wow, you know? I often think, why me, you know? I'm not complaining.